Hello, I'm SquidofLove, welcome back. Today we are gonna take a closer look at the Imperial Cutter, which is one of the two biggest vessels in Elite Dangerous at the moment, along with the Federal Corvette. We are going to take a closer look at its stats with its base loadout, and of course we are gonna equip it with the best available modules to see how much better these stats will be, and test it in the different activities of Elite Dangerous in order to see how we can use the cutter more effectively. With a quick look at the interior, we can very easily realize that the cutter, like any other ship that is manufactured by Gutayama, is following the same luxurious line and is quite beautiful not only on the outside but also on the inside. Of course, the visibility from the cockpit is not the best for exploration or even sightseeing, but that doesn't make the ship, the Imperial Cutter, less impressive. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the stats of the Imperial Cutter. The cutter is only available to members of the Imperial Navy, and in order to acquire one of these beauties you must have the rank of Duke. It is also the most expensive ship in Elite Dangerous at the moment, with a cost at around 204 million credits. It is faster in a straight line than the Federal Corvette, and its normal speed can go up to 202 meters per second, while its boost speed can reach up to 323 meters per second, but its maneuverability is low at level 2. It also has some really good defenses, with the value of the shields being at 703, while the value of the armor being at 720. Like the Federal Corvette, it has the option, it will have the ability to deploy two small fighter-sized ships. With its base loadout, the cutter has an available power of 24, which is quite good, and it will only get better thanks to the Class 8 power plant it can be equipped with. Its cargo capacity is quite impressive at 164 tons with this certain loadout, and can only become better, as we are going to see later. It is a bit heavy, after all it is one of the two biggest vessels in Dangerous at the moment, with its mass at almost 2k tons, and its jump range is kind of low at 8.21 light years and 7.57 light years laden, again with this basic loadout. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the basic modules it can be equipped with, but also at the internal compartments of the cutter. It can have a Class 8 power plant and thrusters, and a Class 7 frameshift drive, life support, power distributor and sensors. Its fuel tank has an impressive capacity of 64, which means that we might be able to use the cutter for long range traveling or even some kind of exploration. It has 9 internal compartments, of which 2 Class 8, 3 Class 6, 2 Class 5, 1 Class 4 and 1 Class 3, and that means that it can take a shield generator of A8 and creates a very strong shield defense, but it can also be equipped with quite good cargo racks and give it a nice cargo capacity. As for the hardpoints, it is also impressive with 7 hardpoints, 1 huge, 2 large, 4 medium and 8 utility mounts, where we can equip it with any kind of module we want. After equipping the cutter with the best available modules, it has an available power of 36, which should be enough to equip it with pretty much anything we want, any kind of weapon and defensive module we want. And its jump range is at 20.93 light years, which is not the best in the game, but it is decent enough to travel somewhere far away or even do some kind of exploration. So let's go ahead and take a look at its capabilities at the different activities of Elite Dangerous now, and like always we are going to start with trading. We are going to equip it with only cargo racks and see what is the maximum cargo capacity it can achieve. And with only cargo racks equipped, the cutter has this impressive cargo capacity of 792 tons, which is by far the best in the game at the moment, and that means that the cutter is going to be the best trading vessel in Elite Dangerous, and it will also make you a lot of money. Let's go ahead and equip some shield generators though and see what kind of protection and cargo capacity we can achieve. With an A8 shield generator, our cargo capacity is at 536 tons, which is still quite impressive, and if we downgrade this shield generator to an A6, we can still achieve a quite nice defense and still have a cargo capacity which is more than impressive, 728 tons. Definitely the best trading vessel in Elite Dangerous, and its jump rate, its laden jump rate is at 14.22 light years with this loadout with 728 cargo capacity. And yes, although it is not the best laden jump rate, it is quite good. You can do a lot of trading and make a lot of money. And as for mining, we can equip it with pretty much everything we want: a refinery with up to 10 bins, collector limber controllers, prospector limber controllers, lots of cargo racks, an A6 shield generator, and 2 Class 2 mining lasers, and still have an amazing cargo capacity of 672 tons. and that means that the cutter is going to be the favorite ship for a lot of miners. Rich miners, that is, because it will cost you a lot of money to acquire all these vessels, but if you can afford it, why not use it as well? And with an available power of 36, you can go on the hardpoints and equip a lot of turrets or a lot of other weapon systems, defensive modules, and go out there and mine in peace. We have mentioned that it might be a good ship to travel far away or do some kind of exploration, so let's go ahead and see its capabilities in rare goods trading, exploration, and in general how far it can go and what kind of activities we can do with it. First of all, let's talk about rare goods trading. 728 tons is more than enough. Actually, with 100 tons you will be fine. With 728 tons, its jump range is at 15.41, so let's remove some of the cargo racks. With only one cargo rack at a class 8 air compartment, we can have a 256 tons of cargo capacity and 19.58 light years laden jump range, which is absolutely amazing. It is one of the best vessels for that kind of trading. In general, it is one of the best vessels for traveling around, going from one area to another, and still have enough cargo space to carry whatever you want, whether these are rare goods or missions, commodities from mission, or whatever else you want to carry with you. It has an impressive potential, the cutter, in that kind of gameplay, in that kind of activity. You can equip it any way you like. We can equip it as a mission multi-role vessel. We can go and equip frame C drive interdictor, shield cell banks, a better shield generator, and lots of weapons. Of course, our jump range will go down a bit, but we will still have a nice jump range and a decent cargo capacity. So if you are looking for a vessel to travel around a Elite Dangerous universe and perform any kind of activity you want, then the Imperial Cutter is for you. Of course, again, if you can afford to buy it and equip it. Is the cutter though good enough for exploration? Let's go ahead and find out with an A7 frame C drive, which is quite good actually for that kind of activity, and everything else downgraded, even the shield generator to a D6. If we equip it with the required modules for exploration, an advanced camera scanner, a detailed surface scanner, an autofill maintenance unit, which is quite important after the Horizon expansion, and this is because the autofill maintenance unit can now repair your canopy, and this is a matter of life or death when you're out there exploring, and an A8 fuel scoop, which is quite expensive. It will cost you more than the cutter itself, but you won't sit on a star staring at it while waiting for your fuel to replenish. You will refuel very fast with an A8 fuel scoop. Our jump range is at 22.91 light years, which is definitely not the best in the game, but with a fuel tank of 64, I think the cutter is one of the best vessels for exploration. It doesn't have the best jump range, but it is very convenient to use it and travel very far away, go wherever you want, and we still have a lot of internal compartments. We can equip it with defensive modules, offensive modules, or even cargo racks. And of course, with the Horizon expansion, we can now land on planets. That means that we are going to need a planetary approach suit if we want to land on planets, and a vehicle hangar. If we go for a G6 planetary vehicle hangar that has 4 vehicle slots, which means that we can carry with us 4 SRVs, this will have a minimal impact on our jump range. Our jump range will be at 22.65 light years, so we can combine the cutter for space exploration, deep space exploration, and planetary exploration. And this is without anything equipped on the hardpoints. If we equip some modules on the hardpoints, with 4 hits and launchers and 3 class 1 pulse lasers, we're going to have 22.49 light years, which is quite enough. And of course we can go and equip whatever else we want, equip better weapons if you would like, equip shield boosters, or any other kind of weapons for the kind of activity you want to perform out there. And of course we can even downgrade our basic modules even further. We don't have to carry an 8 class power plant. We can go with a 7 class power plant, a D7, or we can simply go with an A quality of a lower class module that will provide us with better heat management. Of course, this is only for the power plant. As for the power distributor, we can drop this down to class 1 if we want. Of course, we won't have the option to boost, and that will make us a bit vulnerable if something interdicts us and stops us, but it will increase our jump rates a bit. There are many options. You can create a loadout that you will like. You can create a loadout that you feel you'll be safe with it. I will never go and use a power distributor that will not allow me to boost, but it is up to you. So yes, I do like the capabilities of the cutter in exploration as well. I think it will be a very nice exploration vessel if you want to go out there and search the universe, search for new systems, or even land on planets with it. We haven't talked about combat, so let's go ahead and give it a nice loadout and see its combat capabilities now. For its combat loadout, I've chosen to go with pulse lasers. I'm gonna ignore the huge car point. I don't think there is a point to equip a class 4 weapon on the Imperial Cutter with the weapons that we have available at the moment. Later, when new class 4 weapons will be added to the game, then yes, we will be able to create a very nice loadout with them. For example, if we can get some railguns or multi-cannons on these class 4 hardpoints, we will be able to create a very nice loadout. But at the moment, let's go and test the cutter with 3 gimbal large pulse lasers. And unfortunately, the medium hardpoints are a bit problematic, so we have to go with either gimbals again or use turrets. I think turrets are a very nice option for the cutter because it doesn't have the best maneuverability. It is fast in a straight line, but it is not the most maneuverable vessel in Elite Dangerous. So with 4 class 2 pulse laser turrets, we will be able to keep dealing damage to our targets and of course protect ourselves from more agile vessels that can stay behind us easily. 6 shield boosters of A0, 2 heatsink launchers. We're gonna need the heatsink launchers if we want to use some shield banks. With the available power we have, we don't have absolutely any problem to equip and use all these weapons. And as for the defensive modules, having hull reinforcement packages now is very important because they have gotten a buff with the 1.5 update, which came along with the Horizons expansion. They've gotten a really nice buff that gives resistance to damage, and it is nice to have them equipped on your combat vessels. An A8 generator, the best generator we can equip. An A6 sensor bank, we can go with another sensor bank if you want, but we are gonna use an A6, and a fuel scoop in case you want to travel around. With this loadout, our jump range is at 16.68 light years, which is quite good. You can move around from one area to another and try to find some nice combat opportunities. Well, let's talk about cost a bit. The cost of the hull to buy the cutter, like we have seen before, is at around 204 million credits. It is the most expensive ship in the game after all. This loadout, this certain loadout, as you can see it here, has a cost at around 516 million credits. So in total you will need something around 720 million credits to buy a cutter and equip it exactly like this. And this is with the discount in Serrata Desra, a 10% discount. If you want to equip a military grade composite, that will cost you another 165 with a 10% discount, so we are looking at a cost of around 884.6 million credits. It's quite expensive. It is the most expensive ship in the game, it is the most expensive ship to buy, and also give it a nice combat loadout. Also, the rebuy cost is quite high at almost 26 million credits. So you need to have a lot of money to use the cutter, but thankfully if you use it for trading first, you will start making some nice money. So let's get out of here and test our cutter in combat. But before we do that, we're gonna see its speed. It's not going to be the fastest ship in the game, but it is going to be faster than the Federal corvette in a straight line, and this is what we are going to see right now.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, it's a heavy, we can feel that it's a heavy ship, and we are going to realize this later when we will be doing some combat. It is a bit hard to maneuver. This is why we are using the turrets. So with 4 pips on the engine, our speed is 223, maybe 224? Nope, 223. And if we boost, one more time, 356 is not bad at all for such a heavy ship with almost more than 2k tons mass, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is quite nice speed. So let's go and see how good it is in combat. So let's start with something small. This Federal ship is one. Let's start attacking it. It is a lot more maneuverable though, and it might be a problem for us because of the lack of maneuverability. Our turrets are doing their job, which is nice, and it will help us when we won't be looking at this Federal ship. Let's try to turn around and kill it. Yeah, the NPC continue their nasty habit of trying to ram you. I don't think it would be wise to ram this cutter, little Federal assault ship. Oh, we can ignore it. Our turrets are doing a nice job, and of course we can use flight assist off, turn around and kill it, destroy it very easily. That was hardly a challenge, to be honest. Let's put more power on shields, not that we are gonna have some problem.
Flight assist off.
Yeah, well, because of the low agility of the cutter, it is important to use turrets and flight assist off. Yep, and we can also ram our enemies. That was easier than I thought it would be, thanks to the turrets actually. And let's assist against this python, this wounded, deadly python. This is going to be a bit easier, I'm afraid, because it's not very agile, it's not as agile as the assault ship, the python, so it will be easier for us to kill it. Let's get closer. Some more power on our weapons while watching our turrets doing all the job for us. And of course NPC are using a lot of chaff now, more often than before. And let's put more power on our shields. Not that we have to, but just to be safe. Use some flight assist off and finish it.
Flight assist on.
Down to 89%. Yeah, other NPC are attacking as well. Let's get closer. So our turrets can be a bit more effective, and we will also be able to use our large gimbal weapons on this python.
Scan detected.
Now, the lack of maneuverability on the cutter is quite obvious actually, but with some reversing or flight assist off, it is easy to keep dealing damage on your targets and keep destroying them. We're absolutely ignoring it. We are letting our turrets do all the job. It is very important to have turrets on this ship. I hope sometime soon we're gonna get some nice, better class 4 weapons, so we can have better loadouts, more effective loadouts with the cutter. So far I do like it. I do like this vessel. I do like it for... It seems good for pretty much everything. It's quite impressive. Yeah, it is taking a bit more, but it is not a harder target than the Federal assault ship of before. And it's dead. That's it. It's a very impressive vessel for every kind of activity. Also, it requires a bit of gentle handling because it is a very heavy vessel, so when you are approaching your destination you need to be quite careful. You can drift around very easily, and that will only lead to disaster. This might indicate that the cutter is not the best option for smuggling because of its poor handling. I know we will have to check, and of course it's big, it's easy to hit on the entrance, but after a while, if you get used to its big mass, to its heavy loadout, then you should be fine. And because of its very good available power, we can equip it for piracy as well. We can have a frame seat drive interdictor, collector limit controller, hatch breaker limit controller, fuel scoop for traveling around, of course, a cargo rack with capacity 256. Cargo capacity of 256 will be more than enough for piracy, and of course a cargo scanner along with the shield boosters and the heat shield launcher. The only problem is that it is heavy and slow. It is faster than the Corvette, but in general it is slow, and your targets will be very easy to escape from you, so it should be used in piracy only in a wing or with some other players together in order to take advantage of their ability to chase down a target and interdict them. So this was the Imperial Cutter, the most expensive ship in Elite Dangerous at the moment, which is also the ship with the biggest cargo capacity, and that means that it will be the best trading vessel in Elite Dangerous despite the not so good jump rates it will have laden. It can do pretty much everything. It can be an arm freighter, it can be an explorer, it can be a planetary explorer, and of course very nice in combat. It's not the best at each one of these categories, except trading maybe, but it is a very nice vessel. It is worth getting the rank of Duke within the Imperial Navy in order to acquire one of these beauties. Thank you very much for joining me watching this video. I'm SquidofLove, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.